Hey, Justin.
How you doing?
Welcome to Unabridged Waters. I'm doing good. How are you?
I can't complain, man. Thanks for having me.
Nice.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Been a while, yeah?
Everybody's working hard, long hours.
Absolutely.
So, let's start right off with what's going on immediately with you right now.
Dude, right now life is crazy. Yeah. Man, I'm out here getting noticed by producers in the rap game.
How you doing that?
TikTok,
Nice.
virtually. Yeah, I just do edit a bunch of producers, and yeah, I mean, one of them noticed me and wants to produce my album, so I think we're gonna go with that route. It sounds great.
What's your history with the music industry then?
I've been signed to Calhoun Block Records, out of Colorado. That's when I was running my own label, New Life Productions, in Florida. We had a clothing line, and it wasn't going lucrative for us. So another producer noticed me out of Colorado and signed me on. So that was actually pretty cool. It was a big experience to work with different industries.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Is it possible to find any of that stuff you did with them?
Yeah, absolutely.
How would somebody do that?
You would YouTube J Mcfarlane, Calhoun Block Productions. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's super simple. I got about maybe 23 songs online, 25 probably out there on YouTube. Yeah.
I should write that down. Oh. Sorry.
Tough morning, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Well, it never has to be. That's the greatest part.
Okay. So what was that?
So New Life Productions.
Yeah.
J Mcfarlane, JMACSHEEZY.
So I was spelling productions when you spelt that.
So. Oh, JMAC.
Okay.
And then SHEEZY. Sheezy.
Nice. I'll check that out later.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, peep my music. It's actually pretty good.
So you went off to Colorado, or did you actually go there, or you're just working with them virtually?
I was only working with them virtually.
Okay.
I couldn't leave work at the time, so I think I did 5, 6, 7, about 7 songs with them.
Nice.
It wasn't the fit for me. I wanted to go back to being independent. Kind of wanted to do my own thing. And yeah, I ended up coming back to Wisconsin for Christmas, and now here we are. Unfortunately had a kid. And I'm just being funny. I love my son.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got stuck here, That's just, it is what it is.
Dude, that happens to Wisconsin. People passing through Wisconsin.
Correct.
Do that.
Yeah.
I've actually tried to leave multiple times and just came back.
It just never worked out for you.
Well, there's reasons. I was trying to reconnect with my mom.
Okay, huge.
Who lived out of state. First time was in Arizona. And I went out there to go live with her. And really what I was trying to do, because we went separate ways when I was 8, so there was kind of like this mystery as to, why. Because the things I heard about her from up here were people who were frustrated with her decisions.
Sure.
Not really giving me a clear picture of who she is. And
bad gas travels fast in a small town, so.
Yeah, so when I turned 18, I wanted to and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, blah, blah, blah. Typical story, so I was like, hey. And she kept in contact with me through all those years, and so anyways, we set up a Greyhound, go out to Arizona, Flagstaff.
Okay.
So the Greyhound route, this is my favorite part of the story.
All right. I'm excited now.
The Greyhound route takes us basically straight down south, and we hang a right northern Texas. And this is winter time. We're talking like February. So I'm leaving Wisconsin winter. We get down to northern Texas, like 70, 80. I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. And we just keep heading out west through New Mexico. Just better and better, better and better. And then we got one more stop. We stop in somewhere in New Mexico, and then we're about to head up to Flagstaff right after I take a nap.
Okay.
I wake up, and there's snow on the ground.
What? Come on. You can't even make this story up.
No.
Yeah, so we can't.
Flagstaff is, for those who don't know, is up in the mountains.
Correct.
And the weather up there is very comparable to Wisconsin weather.
Can be, yeah.
So I was pretty upset when I got there. I was not happy.
I would have been too.
But yeah,
leave Wisconsin winters and go back into mountain winters.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Yeah, absolutely.
And I hung out with her for a while. And I didn't do anything. I was 18. I didn't know anybody. I literally kind of just sat at her place and watched House.
Classic.
Yeah, over and over and over again. And then she was hanging out with this dude who was a really good car mechanic. And at the time, I was kind of like showing mechanically inclined ambitions. So I went on and hung out with this dude. Oh, actually, we should back up. Context that really set off this trip was that I broke the timing belt on my car, and everybody around here told me that it was totally junked. And then I was like, well, I guess at this point, let's do something drastic and move cross country. So
yeah,
I tell this mechanic guy about my car after we hang out for a while, and he goes, "Dude, your car is fine. Just slap a belt on it." I go, "What?" He goes, "Oh yeah, that year had a non-interference engine. Your timing belt snaps. It's good. It's nothing broke. Just slap a new belt on it." And I was like, "Oh, gone."
Yeah. And now here we are.
Yeah.
Back in Wisconsin.
No, that was the first time.
Oh, okay. Let's hear about the second time.
So come back to Wisconsin.
Okay.
Fix my car. And then I'm working like the factory life and not really happy with how things are going. Talking to mom. She's moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
All right.
And I was like, oh, shit. Well, it seems like there's more possibilities there than Flagstaff, Arizona. While I was down there, though, I did go see the Grand Canyon.
Beautiful, I'm sure.
Which was pretty cool.
Haven't been there yet, but
yeah,
we'll make her there.
Get there. So then the second time, I dropped everything and went to Atlanta.
I like how you worded that. The second time, I dropped everything.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And while I was down there, I was 19 turning 20, so I wasn't really old enough to enjoy like the adult type of activities that my mom was doing, because she was a grown-ass adult. All her friends were grown-ass adults. Nobody was really my age.
Right.
And again, I just kind of like, she was living with this dude, and I kind of just sat there with him. He worked from home. He was an IT guy. He got me dabbling into some coding, like some C++ I was trying to do, but that was it. I did that. I skipped a winter in Atlanta, and then when my tax return came back, I used it to buy a car.
Okay.
Down in Georgia.
All right.
And I drove it back up here, and then I flipped it. It was a 96 Escort GT with no rust.
Yeah, especially a non-winter car. So yeah, you got them. Yeah. Yep.
I came up here and I flipped it, and then this is where you and I tie together.
Okay.
Came back to Wisconsin, met a girl, had a kid. Now we're here.
Wow. All right, so then you gotta also tie in my life story. Here's how we tie together, right? So, and I don't know, 12 years ago, I don't care about the numbers, right? I go to Florida for rehab.
Okay.
Right? I'm a recovering meth addict. I don't have any problem talking about that.
Sure.
I've stayed clean, so I'm cool with that. Right? I go down there. I come back to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
the first time, right? Obviously, there's always a second time. I go for like 28 days, whatever. It's cool. I feel more comfortable. Obviously not. That wasn't the outcome of it. So I go back to Florida to the same rehab where I came from, and they're like, "I told you so." I'm like, "Oh, I came back, obviously." $125,000 later, you know.
Yeah.
I finally clean up. I'm down in Florida. I start a company that makes $22 million in months.
Wow.
I was part of it, so I was like a third shift supervisor and part owner. $22 million, man. The FBI shuts it down. They're like, you're intentionally scamming customers into buying your products.
Okay.
Right? At this point, I have a luxury condo in South Florida. I can't go to Walmart and apply for a job and pay for this. This place that I live. So, yeah, I literally packed an 80-pound suitcase and moved back to Wisconsin. Like I had nothing. I couldn't do it. I sold my car. I had a nice little '98 Mustang. You know.
What was the business?
Unfortunately, due to my lawyer, I can't. I'm just kidding, buddy. Do you remember those ads back in the day at like 2:00 in the morning when you couldn't sleep, and they asked you if your computer was running slow?
Yeah. That was you.
That was us, yeah.
And so then what would you do if somebody bit on that hook?
Well, basically what the concept was is that you would call me, because I'm going to be the one talking to you on the phone.
Yeah.
And I would explain to you, technically what we did wasn't illegal.
Okay.
We beat it in court.
Yeah.
But they kept the money. You know how it is. But they would call me. I would tell them, they would buy software and then call us because they couldn't install it.
Okay.
That's fine. Not my pig, not my farm, right? So I would help them install their software.
Okay.
I would remotely connect to their computer. Yeah. Install the software. There you go. You got a registry cleaner. There you go. While I'm here, do you want me to
do a performance check?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the pitch was, unfortunately, because they couldn't install their software, what we said was, you know, if you want to unplug your computer, take it down to Best Buy or some other big box store and pay buku bucks. I don't know what their prices are, you know. You're more than welcome to do that. But your computer is a little messed up. You know, there's some things that could be taken care of.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to do that, right, I can transfer you this session over to one of my technicians in the back room. That'll take care of everything. And then all I have to do is install a little dot right here that you can click at any time for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you need help. What'd we do wrong?
Yeah, so I'm curious now, what was the FBI's...
That was what we got charged with. We were intentionally scaring customers. Because maybe at the point, their computer wasn't drastic.
Okay.
But they had support for a year for the same price as it was for a big box company to fix it. We worded it wrong and we got legalized on it.
Okay.
So after doing that, man, they dropped on everybody because there was like 3.
Well, yeah, everybody's jumping on that train.
Everybody hopped on the bandwagon. I had over 100 technicians.
Yeah.
Over 100 computer technicians and over 200 salesmen. We were all wearing Gucci belts. We made money, you know?
Yeah.
But we weren't providing a bad service.
Yeah.
That's the thing that we had an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Like, everything was good, man. But then, you know, when they say, like, you watch movies and you see those guys in the blue jackets with the yellow writing on it, they really actually pull up, man. So
They were not happy with you.
and unfortunately, I couldn't afford to end my life in Florida. I ended up back here.
Okay. So, what'd you do while you were here?
Well, I drank for a while.
Yeah. Of course you did.
And then I ended up into the bartending career, which I didn't think that I'd ever want to get back into.
Ah. Why?
Because I just really, I've spent most of my life talking to people.
Okay.
I don't want to be a therapist.
No?
No, I just don't know what I want to do in my career. Like, I want to rap. I want to make music, man. And just talking to people and listening to their problems, it's tough because I've got my own problems, just like you have your own problems.
Sure.
It's tough.
There was a time, though, where I kind of inspired to be a bartender. And I would encourage somebody who's just getting into the workforce to take that route, to get into that. What I've learned over the years is you get a job like bartending, or you're at a decently known place as a server. These on the surface seem like these low-level jobs, but the experience that you get, you can spin it and you can get yourself into a professional position elsewhere. I work for a food distribution company, and a lot of our sales reps are ex-bartenders. Clearly chefs ordering foods, but and servers too. So you can take that and make it into something better down the road.
Absolutely correct. Like any, unfortunately, it's sales.
Yeah.
That it is, and it's a tough industry to be in. But correct entry level bartending is a great way to just make some money and learn knowledge to do something better.
Yeah.
I would 100% agree with you. I came from a sales industry into bartending, and it was like my niche, you know.
Mm.
Did I bartend before? Yeah. But after the sales industry, did I become a better bartender? Absolutely.
Nice.
I make $44 an hour on average. Bartending in a small town with 5,000 people. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, how else you want to talk it? Like, I had my boy come into the bar yesterday. He says, "Man, I don't understand it, but you make more money than me." Well, mentally, it's a game.
Yeah.
Cat and mouse. Sales is the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now we're opposites. So if we can learn from each other, yeah, bartending is a great way to come into the money industry, because eventually you're gonna have a job where you're knocking on someone's door and they're gonna pay you $500.
Sure.
I've done that too, door-to-door sales. I've sold the vacuums, the knives, the Cutcos. I've done everything.
Oh wow.
I've been salesy my whole life. It's what I do. But bartending is the easiest way.
But you're tired of it now.
Correct.
So what's the downside, other than just talking to people?
The downside to it is that there are certain customers that will upset you, and it's hard mentally to go home to it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn that being a bartender, because you can't let it affect you at work. But going home to it is mentally exhausting, man. It really is. You lay there for hours and hours and hours thinking about if there was something you did wrong. And there usually is something. But it wasn't to that customer that upset your night. So how do you make money more accurately? Is the question that you ask yourself at 5 a.m. just to wake up to go back to the bar to make sure you did everything right.
Yeah.
Just for that same person to show up, you know?
And still be upset.
No, you hide it, obviously. Yeah. But it hurts your head at the end of the day.
And so what so ends That's interesting. I'm trying to like.
It's a hard concept, man, unless you do it.
So I know, let's say you have a typical, we're in small town Wisconsin, so let's talk manufacturing jobs.
Okay.
That's what most people are going to have. And I want to try to relate this to what you just said. So are we talking like you go to work every day, you show up on time, you do your job, and your supervisor comes up to you and always has something really negative to say? It's not really focusing on anything positive that you do. There's no positive feedback.
Nailed it. That's all it is. And even say you got your coworkers, you know, coming in, watching you, and they're like, wow, you're really good at your job. Yeah. And then you got your boss coming in and saying you did trash.
Sure.
And you got your customers tipping you hundreds and hundreds of dollars every night and telling you that they want to come back because you're working, but your boss tells you you're doing a negative job. It's just not something that you can really be happy with at the end of the night. If you know you're good at what you do, let's say you make bow and arrows for a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I shoot your bow at a target and I miss, and I tell you your bow was crap.
Right.
It probably wasn't. You probably did a good job on your bow. I just shot it wrong.
Yeah.
You can't take blame where blame's not being put. It's just not like that, man.
I think some people will use that negative feedback as a way to encourage somebody to grow even further without really realizing that when you do that, some people aren't going to react the same way. Maybe they personally react better when somebody says they're not good enough, and so they're trying to express that to other people's, like their employees, but that's not always going to work for them.
It also depends on the industry, because if I know for a fact I'm good enough and somebody's trying to build me that's not better than me, there is a sense of pride and ego in this, you know. There is a little bit of, if I tell them I've been doing this for 12 years and you tell me I'm doing it wrong and you've been doing it for 3, we really don't have anything to talk about, you know. At that point, I'm not with it. I'm not taking the order from someone who hasn't been in that industry.
Yeah.
It'd be like you telling me that you're a rapper.
Oh yeah.
Spit a 16, you know. If you rap, go ahead. But if you didn't and you don't understand the money aspect, that's the tough thing. The money aspect, the contracts, the studio time, the exclusive rights to beats, the unexclusive rights to beats. That means anyone can use that beat. Because let's take it for interest right now. Jack Harlow, one of the most influential rappers right now.
Okay.
He made What's Poppin'.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say nothing in that song. What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. But we loved it.
Yeah.
Right? Then 6 months later, we got Tory Lanez Da Baby on that same track with the remix. So he didn't have the exclusive rights to the beat, or he would have sold it off.
Yeah.
They hopped on it, and he had to write another verse on it. The business is nuts, man, because if I don't own, 2 Day Presents tells me I need 34 hundo to write me 8 exclusive beats. Then studio time?
On top of that?
That's pretty cheap, man.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I can buy a Wiz Khalifa verse for $16,000.
Okay.
So if I'm at half that for my whole album produced, and I'll probably just release it for free. So it's going to cost me. It's an investment. But then it gets my name out there.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to present that it's a really tough industry, you know, like. Well, you also made, I think, a really good point, too, where when you're trying to launch something or start something, you have to be willing to take some cost yourself in order to promote yourself.
Correct.
Like, you can't just... Well, you can, but typically going in it with the expectations of making a profit immediately is going to set you up for failure.
Well, yeah, if it's not going to be lucrative off rip, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know, any investment's going to be that way. That's why it's called an investment.
Mm-hmm. And you can apply that to anything too. Like, let's just say you want to do a side gig, like, I don't know, some
karaoke, DJ, like anything you do on the side.
Yeah. Well, like fixing lawnmowers on the side.
Okay.
Right? Let's keep it
like
Dodge County. That's where we're at.
All right, let's keep it Dodge County.
You know, at first, you're going to have to do some pretty cheap jobs, man. Maybe even do it for free. Just to get people to be like, hey, you know what? This guy, he's a small engines mechanic. He knows what he's talking about. But that could take a couple months. You can't really expect your side gig to really grow until after you put in... You have to invest time and money before it's going to pay you back.
I would agree 100% with that, because like if I needed my lawnmower fixed and the guy pulled up and said, yo, I'll fix your lawnmower for $25, I'm throwing him $25. But next time I need my lawnmower fixed and it costs me $100, I'm okay with paying him $100.
Sure, because you know
he fixed it right.
Yeah.
Anything you invest in yourself is profitable.
Yeah.
It can be lucrative. You know, if my boat took a dump today, I wouldn't know anybody to fix my boat. You think it'd be cool if I knew somebody that could fix my boat?
Yeah.
Because I'd be happy to pay him right now to fix my boat. I don't know anybody. That's a great business to get into.
Yeah.
You just can't beat it.
Marine mechanics, that's rare.
Marine mechanics, yeah. Do you know anybody that can fix your boat?
I do, but that's a family friend.
So can he fix my boat is the question.
Yeah, but I don't know if he would.
Right. He's a family friend.
Yeah, I don't doubt that he could. He could. Well, I mean, I guess. Yeah.
If I asked you nicely to find me a marine mechanic and you had a family friend,
that's the guy I would talk to. But I can't be like, he'll do it.
Right.
He's got to agree.
You can't. He's got to agree. That's tough, man. It's a tough chain built world right now.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know somebody that knows somebody, but you got to know somebody that you're comfortable with, right?
Well, yeah, isn't that part of the sales game? Somebody's gonna buy from you when they're, no?
Well, I don't. Well,
because
yes and no.
You're just making that feeling, pumping them up to say yes to whatever you're selling. Somebody who absolutely despises you is very unlikely to say yes.
But that's the whole sales game, is to get somebody that despises you to say yes.
How would you do it?
Mind game manipulation. I mean, sales, bro. That's what it is. It's tough. But then you need to designate when business doesn't interfere with your real life.
Okay.
Because the sales game will make you manipulative, right?